Hey, I hope everyone can hear me. I hope volume's up. Sorry about my hand, guys. So I decided to do another video on intermittent fasting because oddly enough, I'm doing a lot of cooking videos and a lot of you are telling me, put up cooking videos. But then as soon as I put up the intermittent fasting videos, I get deluged by all kinds of questions and feedback. And I'm like, well, shoot, should I even keep uploading cooking videos, or is intermittent fasting all people want to talk about these days? So I thought I would share with you my 5 tips for intermittent fasting while traveling, whether you're traveling on business or pleasure, whether you're going on vacation. But before I go into that, I just want to I see some thumbs up. If you want to shout out your name, not literally shout out, but send me your name and where you are from, so I could see kind of a lay of the land here of who's watching. Anyone? Don't be shy, people. So just in case you're new to my channel, my name is Blanche, and it rhymes with like launch, not ranch. I'm not Blanche. And my show usually is Feast in the Middle East, but because I have a wealth of nutritional and fitness knowledge from my experience researching nutrition for many, many years and being a teacher. Cool. Mariette says hi. Ruth, oh, you're from Iowa. Cool. Where else is everyone from? This is really exciting. I love hearing where everyone's from. So feel free to shout out. I figure why not share this knowledge with everyone? I've been researching forever. Jerry from Delaware. What's up? Ahlam from New York. You're up not too late, right? I'm not too late. Is this a good time for everyone? I hope so. It's kind of a generic time here in California, kind of evening time. Yay! What's up, Ray Machine? That's my husband, by the way. He's just like clocked in. So what I'm gonna do is talk about my 5 tips for intermittent fasting while traveling or on vacation. And if you have any questions afterwards, I'd be happy to answer them. Mila, hi, what's up? Virginia in the house. We got Virginia, Iowa, New York. Anyone from out of the state or out of the country? Would love to hear from international peeps. Anyone? Okay, I'm sure I'll hear from you as the live feed goes on. So let's start with number 1. Now, first of all, people might wonder, wait a second, what are you doing intermittent fasting while on vacation or while traveling? And it really comes naturally to me. I mean, it's a lifestyle. When something's a lifestyle and you've made some amazing progress, why do you want to undo all of that progress in 1 week? I really don't see the point of doing that. And when you're so used to it, it feels weird to go against what you've been doing for months or possibly years and then start eating from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. I'm not sure what that would feel like because I haven't done that yet. I actually went on vacation recently with my big fat Arab family. There were probably over 25 of us. And we went to a place where the food was included, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's very tempting for people in an all-inclusive type situation to be like, well, shoot, it's included in the price I paid for it. So let me just eat all day and whenever I want. But then when they get home, they pay the consequences, and sometimes it's hard to take off pounds lost during vacation, depending on if you're insulin resistant or if you're older. So I'm not a big believer in just like giving everything up on vacation either. So I like to indulge. I'm not puritanical. I'm not going to go on vacation and ruin it for everyone else either. Mila. Azerbaijan. Okay, cool, Mila. Sorry, I just want to make sure. What I do on vacation is sort of streamline intermittent fasting in that. Okay, let me give you an example. So let's start with the first tip that I have for when you're on vacation. Is to increase your physical activity. Now, I don't just mean going to the gym, because going to the gym is helpful, and I do that. I usually search for places, whether for business or pleasure, where there's a gym either in the hotel or nearby or on a cruise ship. There are gyms on cruise ships, which is great. All-inclusives in Mexico have gyms. I mean, it's really awesome how they are incorporating gyms everywhere these days. So yes, I do still work out. Maybe it's a modified workout and not as long as I work out at home, but I usually like to start off the day with a nice some water, some coffee, and then go hit the gym before the day starts. It's like my own spa time. I know that sounds weird, but I enjoy exercising, and for me, it gives me energy to start the day and puts me in a good mood. So I know that might not be for everyone, but if you are really anti-exercise, I say give it a try, and you'll be amazed at how good you feel after some exercise in the morning. But when you're on vacation, you do a lot of what I call NEAT, or what's known as NEAT, and that's non-exercise. What is it? NEAT. It has to do with exercising without really killing it in physical activity. So, they're non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's what it's called. Just like slip of the tongue there. What that means, it's just a fancy word for doing activity that's not necessarily planned. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the gym. So, taking the stairs instead of the elevators, taking the long route and enjoying the scenery instead of taking the shortcut. If somebody needs like an errand run, like, hey, I need some sunscreen, being the one to be like, okay, I'll go back to the hotel and get you some sunscreen, so you get some more activity. Standing more than sitting, walking around, looking at stuff at in a museum, taking a walk in a neighborhood you've never walked in. All of that counts as NEAT. And all of that increases your thermogenesis, your physical activity, so that you can burn more. And so you're allowed to eat more, in my opinion. I mean, I tend to eat more on vacation than I do at home, but I usually don't gain any weight because my my general activity has increased. So between the gym and NEAT, I say that is tip number one, to keep your physical activity up, and that'll give you energy. So, for example, a typical day for me on my annual vacation will start with gym in the morning, getting dressed, washed and dressed, hanging out with family, going swimming. There's some activity right there. Jet skiing, walking everywhere. There's a lot of energy expenditure. If there's a DJ playing music, I'm there. I'm dancing too. I don't care where I am because I'm a Zumba instructor. And all you Zumba instructors, if there are any of you watching right now, you know that you dance anywhere. You don't care if anyone's watching. So that is my first tip. Now, my second tip is to skip either breakfast or dinner. I generally skip breakfast, and you might be like, oh, but breakfast is the most exciting part of the trip because I get to eat all this amazing stuff and that I usually don't make at home, and it's so much fun to like pick out stuff in a buffet. But here's the deal on breakfast, okay? Breakfast is usually made up of either high sugar pastries, refined carbs, or bagels or breads or that stuff. It's all high sugar, refined carbs. Particle board mystery meat. They're not going to get the good quality sausages for you or the good quality bacon or any of that stuff. It's usually like particle board sausage, garden variety type, and it has grizzle. Or, super, super cheap, like low grade bacon, probably from miserable pigs. Or it's from, like just mystery meat. They're not going to go and spend the extra money to get you good quality meat. And when you eat it, you'll probably get indigestion first thing in the morning. So then there's that. Of course, you have the pancakes and the waffles. And they're not going to, make high protein pancakes like the recent video I just uploaded. I'm a big fan of protein pancakes, which I make at home. They're not going to provide that. They're just going to have high refined sugar pancakes. And don't even get me started on eggs. So a lot of you might be like, well, how about eggs? Eggs are great. They're high in protein. A lot of restaurants and hotels and resorts use egg beaters. And egg beaters have 31 ingredients. It's mind-blowing. Some of the ingredients are artificial color. There's yeast extract, which is a fancy word for MSG, and eating MSG actually skyrockets your insulin, so it's going to actually increase your fat storage in your body. So while you're eating these eggs thinking you're being healthy, whether they're reconstituted, ready-made kind, that's made from powdered or egg beaters, or they even try to sneak egg beaters in the omelet stations, I noticed. So you'll go wait in line thinking, I'm going to get myself a good omelet, and you see all the veggies and you want to make your omelet. But to the side, what's the chef doing? He's taking out scoops of egg beaters and making your omelet with the egg beaters. And why would you want eggs that have 31 ingredients in it when you could just like skip all that, and when you get home you could get your pasture farm fresh organic eggs. You could make your protein pancakes, just use my recipe and make that. You could have like avocado on like whole grain. Arabs, you know the deal, you eat zeytu za'atar, which is a za'atar spice with olive oil. You could have some really good quality stuff. So generally what I do is I will skip breakfast. I will take maybe like a bowl of fruit, put it in a container or a plastic bag, and put it in my bag in case I do get hungry. I know that I'll have instant energy for later, like when I'm at the beach or something, if there's no food around or I don't trust the food around me. I know at least I'll have some fruit. Okay, so number 1, increase physical activity, both neat as well as get in gym time if you can. Number 2, skip breakfast, or if you really love breakfast and you can't let go of it and you want to eat all that stuff, then skip dinner. But generally, I don't skip dinner, and I'll tell you why. But first we're gonna get to number 3, and number 3 is lunchtime. So when you're on a trip at lunch, and let's say you skipped breakfast, why don't you make your first meal of the day something super high in veggie with some protein, just to give you really clean, good energy. So by this time, if I'm at the beach, I skip breakfast, I'm feeling really good, I feel confident in my swimsuit, my stomach is flat, I don't have digestion problems like some other people in my family who have really killed it during breakfast. I feel good, I have nice clean energy, I'm drinking water to stay hydrated. But when I get hungry, I get hungry. And so, for example, in Mexico, where we went, they had some amazing seafood, and I was so glad that I didn't eat breakfast because that allowed me to eat more seafood, like fresh ceviche. I love ceviche. Like I could eat ceviche breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and with fresh salsa. And so I was happy. I mean, I had my seafood, my salsa, had a lean protein. If I don't have ceviche, I'll have like a salad with a bit of protein, like the size of my palm. You don't need to kill it with the protein, because if you're gonna kill it at dinner, keep that in mind, you know. But yeah, so I'll have a big salad with lots of different veggies. If I'm at a buffet, I'm gonna pile the veggies this high and put some protein, and maybe, you know, treat myself to like maybe a soft serve or ice cream if it's available. So that's lunch. I suggest lunch would be like a salad or some kind of veggie with some protein, either lean or otherwise. I'm not even saying it has to be lean protein. If you are in the mood for like barbecued ribs and that's what's available, then eat barbecued ribs. But I think for digestion purposes, for me, seafood is the best way to go when I'm on vacation. So, which leads me to number 4, which is kill it at dinner. So when I say kill it at dinner, I enjoy dinner. I love dinner with multiple courses when I'm on vacation. I prefer that over a buffet. And I usually start with a vegetable still. Whatever I do, I always start with vegetables because you want to fill your tummy with high density nutrition. So I'll start with vegetables, and then I will get appetizers. I usually prefer appetizers over the main course. So if there's like polenta and mushrooms, or you know, another ceviche, or crab cakes. Oh my gosh, I really love crab cakes. I'm a big sucker for crab cakes. Stuff like that, I will do it, and I will eat dessert on vacation. So on my past vacation, I ate a hazelnut Napoleon with chocolate. I had a tiramisu one night. I had lemon meringue pie another night, and I pretty much ate the whole thing. I was exercising so much, I was probably exercising 3-4 hours a day. I said, I'm gonna eat this whole dessert. I skipped breakfast, I ate a healthy lunch, I had a pretty decent dinner, and that's what I'm gonna eat for dessert. And my last bit of advice, which is tip number 5, is do not eat after dinner. So for me, especially when traveling with a big fat Arab family that loves to eat, even sometimes after dinner, people will be like, well, I'm still hungry, or let's go check out and see what's there in the restaurant. I kind of got the munchies. Let's see if there's any snacks. And it can be tempting, especially if all the food's laid out there and if it's included. And you're like, well, shoot, it's all free. I want to eat some of that. But what I do is I just get some water and put some lemon juice in it, or get some tea, and I walk around with my tea, and I'm pretty happy and I'm full. I make sure I really eat enough at dinner so that I'm not hungry at all for the rest of the night. And then that's basically it. I mean, those are my tips. And I really, and I thought, you know, after I ate dessert every single day and I finished a dessert, I didn't share it with anyone. I was even sampling off other people's desserts. I thought that I had gained weight on this vacation. And so what I did was I came home and I weighed myself the morning after, which is not really a good idea because when you're traveling, you're retaining water, you get puffy from flights, you know, airplane flight, and it's not a true indication of your weight. So I don't really recommend it, but I just, because I wanted to report back to you guys all my findings to see if I could help you, I thought, you know, I'm gonna weigh myself and see what happens. So I looked at the scale and I gained 2 pounds, and I thought, well, I gained 2 pounds. That's not like catastrophic. I really enjoyed myself. I didn't really deprive myself of anything. So I'm just gonna weigh myself tomorrow and see what happens. So I weighed myself the second day and those 2 pounds were gone. So it was all water weight, okay? That probably from excess sodium and flying and so forth. Once you get back into your normal routine, then things stabilize and you're back to your old weights. So I went on this vacation. I indulged every day. And I did not gain any weight, and I had a great time. And you know, it might be hard for some of you to wrap your head around skipping breakfast. Surely it was for me. I used to love breakfast. It was my favorite meal of the day. But when I really analyze what they serve for breakfast and do I want that in my system, it's really a no-brainer. It was really easy to just like not even go there. So I'm not even tempted to just get my coffee and my water and go ahead with my day. And like I said, I mean, when you're that confident, when you're confident, feeling confident in your swimsuit, your stomach is flat, you don't have any digestive problems, and you have a lot of energy, you don't really think about, oh, I wish I ate, you know, that greasy breakfast earlier today. So I really hope that helps you guys. These are my tips for intermittent fasting while traveling. I'm going to open it up to questions and see if there are any questions from any of you. I know a lot of you were like, make another video because I have more questions and I'd love to ask you some. So are there any questions? I'm just going to pause for a second. I should have kind of announced that I was going to do a live feed, but generally for you guys to know, I usually upload videos on Tuesdays. It's kind of my favorite day to upload videos. So just so you know, check back Tuesdays, usually after 5 o'clock, between 5 and 7 is when I tend to upload videos, whether live or pre-recorded. So as a matter of fact, next week, I'm looking to upload a brand new recipe for all of you guys in time for Labor Day weekend, a really healthy, fun recipe. And I'm not going to reveal what it is. I'll keep it a surprise. So any questions from anyone? Anyone? Comments? No? You guys are awfully quiet today. Usually it's like, okay, so what I'm going to do is wrap this up. I'm actually going to wrap this up with my protein pancake. See that? Okay, so look, this is the protein pancake. I uploaded the video on this. It's in my playlist right now. I just uploaded it not too long ago. So yeah, I skipped breakfast today, but it doesn't mean I can't enjoy breakfast at this hour. And I have something to look forward to. It tastes like dessert, kills any munchies at night, and I'm satiated and I'm full and I'm happy. So what I'm gonna do now is stop this video and work on my pancakes. And please, if you do have comments or questions, and oh, you do have a question? Oh, hi Linda, nice to see you here. If you have a question, lay it on me, girl. Right now, go for it. Standing by. Linda? Okay. What if you are traveling to the Middle East? Ha! That protein pancake looks so good, says Jerry. Yeah, isn't that awesome? I have the recipe up. You know what I did? I did a different oh, and bread is served with everything. Good question, Linda. Okay, just to give you a serving suggestion, that protein pancake I did, I topped it with some cottage cheese, almond butter, and banana. So, Linda, great question. You're going to the Middle East and everything has bread in it. So what I would do is I would stick to the veggies most of all. I would first fill myself up with the vegetables. So if you go to the Middle East, generally for breakfast or whatever, or if they have a late breakfast, they're always gonna have cucumbers and tomatoes, right? It's like a staple. So what I would do is eat a heaping serving of cucumbers, tomatoes, hummus, and cheese. And I always have like a half a pita bread, and I'll use that for all of my, I would work on that pita bread sort of slowly. You know what I mean? A lot of Arabs, they'll inhale that bread, you know, that it's like fresh, or that sesame bread. It's so good. Khubz taza, I know it's so good, Linda. But what I would do is take out a portion for myself, like half a piece, and I would work on that with everything else, with abundant vegetables and abundant protein. Hummus is great. And pace myself and enjoy it. I'm not going to deprive myself of bread when I'm in the Middle East, because it's fresh and it's amazing, and I know I'm not going to have it that way when I get back to the States. So I would just have it in moderation. And if I'm really extremely hungry and I had a big long day of like sightseeing and walking around and doing all that stuff, and I skipped breakfast, I would probably eat more than that, along with some protein like shish kebab, you know, some chicken, kebab and all that good stuff, and I would probably get quite full. Now, if I was planning on having kanafa later, that's a whole nother story, girlfriend, because kanafa is like food of the gods, and I prioritize that over all other foods. It's a very rich dessert of like melted cheese with phyllo that's saturated in butter, and it's got sugar syrup on top. It's super decadent, but so worth it, and I can't go to the Middle East without finding it. So if I know I'm going to be eating that, bread is just nothing to me, and bread all of a sudden looks like cardboard in comparison. So I pace myself, I plan my day. If I'm gonna eat kanafa or some kind of rich dessert later, I'll probably not eat the bread at all, eat the protein, the vegetables, the hummus, really enjoy that, and then save all my carbs, my rich carbs and sugars for the kanafa, because for me, that's the ultimate. But that's just me. My sister is totally different. My sister loves her bread and cheese. That is her jam. That is her like ultimate. And she likes sweets and desserts here and there, but she's not nearly as passionate about desserts as I am. So if I were in her shoes, I'd probably have extra bread, like maybe like a whole round, you know, and enjoy that, and say, well, I'm not going to eat dessert later. This is what I'm passionate about, this round of bread, so I'm going to be eating that. So I hope that answered your question, Linda, and I appreciate your reaching out to me tonight. Nice to hear from you. Anyone else before I get off? I'm speaking in New York language for whatever reason, New York accent. All right, so I think I'm going to wrap this up. Again, I'm going to leave this up. I'm not going to delete it or anything. So if you have any questions after watching this broadcast, please leave them in the comments below, and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. If you subscribe and hit that little bell next to my name, Blanche TV, then what will happen is you will get my live feed in your inbox, and you will know at that same moment that I'm broadcasting live, so you can be, you know, a part of the live broadcast and ask your questions live with me. So just to let you know, I usually upload on Tuesdays. Subscribe, eat well, feast well, fast well, and I'll see you next week with a new video, a new recipe on Tuesday in time for Labor Day. All right, guys, take care. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.